Welcome back to Starflames TV, the channel for all your latest gossips, drama in the world of entertainment. I'm your girl, Starflames, and in this video, we're gonna talk about an exciting, trending discussion that has been buzzing all over social media. Let's get into it, shall we? Now, it has been revealed that Joe Rogan and none other than the Yeezy Don, Mr. Ye, will be having a podcast together. Well, not having a podcast, but they're going to do a podcast episode together on Joe Rogan's podcast. And you know that these are two powerful powerhouse personalities. So excited for this. I guess you guys can tell from the sound of my voice. Now, with these two powerful powerhouse personalities that are coming together, we know that this is going to be none other than epic, unforgettable, and Joe Rogan is going to ask the questions that many people cannot ask Ye and get away with it. Have you observed Ye's calm and collectedness on the Joe Rogan podcast? And you know why that is? Joe Rogan allows Ye to be himself. So Ye doesn't have to be tussling verbally with anyone to get his point across. There's no communication barrier with Joe Rogan. He's really good at communication and listening to his guests, and he allows his guests to express themselves, gives insight. Joe Rogan knows how to ask probing questions, and if he figures that something is a bit iffy, he wants to let you know, listen, I'm getting the sense that something is a bit iffy about that. Do you want to talk some more about that, or would you like for us to leave that alone? And that's how he does it. No, we know that Ye has always been controversial. That is just Ye. And can anyone change Ye? Absolutely not. But I believe that this, podcast, it's going to shed light on a lot of things, like what Ye has been feeling for the past couple of weeks and why he has been saying the things that he has been saying. Joe Rogan is going to ask Ye, why do you call yourself a Nazi? Why do you call yourself a racist? He's going to get the response, which is the perfect answer, not a made up answer, because he is going to be in a relaxed environment. He's going to be in an environment where his emotions are not threatened, because he's going to deal with someone that understands him before he even steps into the room. Now, it's not the first time that Ye has been on Joe Rogan's podcast. And what I have observed is that whenever the world is confused by a statement that Ye makes on Joe Rogan's podcast, that's where we normally get clarity. So as such, you can definitely look for something that's insightful, in-depth, and thought-provoking discussions. We're going to get some jokes because these two minds coming together, it's gonna be a definite wild ride, and I cannot wait for it. So
my question is, why do people think there's something wrong with you?
I'll say these two things. I think very three-dimensionally. I don't think in the black and white lines that I've been programmed to think in. I have to describe a thought in 5 ways. We enjoy food that has multiple seasoning in it. We enjoy music that has multiple instruments. So when I talk, it's not a rant, it's a symphony of ideas. And when you collect them, you say, oh, these are all these things that connect. I just tell the truth, and telling the truth is crazy in a world full of lies.
And I can't wait for the truth and more truth to be revealed in this crazy world that is filled with lies. Now, Ye has shared a screenshot of his conversation that he had with Joe Rogan on his Twitter page. Now, Joe Rogan is in gray. Ye is in green. Now, the message reads, I love the look of it. The natural and simple look of the studio is very future. I would love to sit down and speak with you, but I am honestly a bit uncomfortable with your latest tweets. Is there a way we can clear the air on some of this when we sit down? Ye's response, that's what the idea would be. And yes, I'm happy to know that the tweets make you uncomfortable. If that response wasn't there, that wouldn't have been Ye. Now, Joe Rogan speaks about, yes, I want to talk about the studio. He's saying the natural and simple look of the studio, very future. So could it be that Ye helped Joe Rogan with his studio, or did Joe Rogan visit Ye's studio? Because we saw Ye in the studio working with the game. So I'm not sure. Well, it's given the sense that he's talking about Ye's studio. No, Ye has confirmed this podcast, and I believe that, as he's saying, he's happy to know that the tweet makes Joe Rogan uncomfortable because he wants people to think. He wants to pick at people's brains, and he wants to show people the hypocrisy that lies among us, because he said something that sounded repulsive. And if you notice what Joe Rogan said some of the tweets. He said some of them, not all of them, right? Because when you look at the post that he made where he said that, the black people, they are more afraid of swastika than a gun. That is so factual. It is true. And he says it is because of slavery. And that is true. But sometimes when he uses the word, we think, right off the bat, he's talking about physical slavery. No, he's talking about mental slavery. We really don't think much, and we really don't think for ourselves. And that is a mind control. That is slavery. Because if someone can tell you that a symbol that means different things across the world is more dangerous and harmful than an actual weapon that is used in school shootings, different assaults, different crimes. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous, and it's not making any sense. And we have been programmed to believe that those symbols, are dangerous. And if we look at the symbols that we are taught in some cultures that are dangerous, in other cultures, it is seen as light, empowering, something beautiful, something positive. And as such, you can definitely see what he is talking about. Now, also, I believe that Ye is still suffering from the trauma of losing his mom. I believe that he has guilt. I believe he has blame, self-blame. And do you know how sometimes we feel things and we may go to therapy, we may talk to our friend, but we don't talk to everyone about everything. There's a little portion that we normally keep for ourselves. And I believe that Ye is keeping a little portion for himself. No, I believe that some of the portion that Ye is keeping is like, if I didn't come to Hollywood, my mama would still be alive. If I didn't come to Hollywood, my mama and I would be spending Christmas together. I believe that he has some amount of guilt, because in one of his statements, he said that he asked God, to take his stress away, and his mom died. That's a personal guilt. And I know, yes, I know, some people believe that he sacrificed his mom, but no, he did not. He really did not. But I want to share this clip with you guys, and then I'll get back with the rest of my commentary.
I said, God, deliver me from pain. And then he took my mom.
No, what's wrong with me, Mr. White?
So it's hard to hurt that much ever again.
Now guys, so I have to share that clip to say, I still believe that he's not over the passing of his mother. I've lost my mom. It's recent, but I believe I have an insight based on the fact that we share some amount of similarities. I'm going to put that out there. And so I am able to understand Ye so well. Now, when I say similarities, I'm talking about birth signs. I understand my people. And when you lose your mom and you're a sensitive, emotional individual, that emotion stays with you and you're going to consistently have pits and peaks. There are days you're going to be strong to just overcome those emotions, and those days it's going to bend you to the point where you feel as though it is impossible to come from that feeling. And so I would say to people, and what I'm learning is that when someone has lost their mom, even if you have lost your mom, or if it's a child, if it's a father, if it's a sister, aunt, or a friend, if you have the same loss, don't tell an individual that, I know how you feel. I've lost my mom too. You can have a sense of the same feeling, but feel differently, because the relationship that you had with your mom, it's not the same one that I had with my mom. Maybe you and your mom were separated for a period of time, and that makes the bond between you and your mom stronger. Maybe my mom and I just have this deep, abiding love and connection that was so different from your mom. We have this chemistry. We feel like we've known each other throughout several lifetimes, and that makes the connection feels different. And as such, when we mourn those losses, it's going to be different for you. It's going to be different for I, but it's somewhat the same, but we're going to feel different about it. So sometimes we have to be really careful of what we say to individuals. So I'm just saying that, just to say this to you guys, Ye is mourning the loss of his mom different from how, the average individual would. He's a deep emotional individual. He's complex at times, and his mother, based on what I've observed with his communication with his mom, when he starts a sentence, his mom understands, even if he's not, because I've seen discussions with him and his mom. He's trying to tell his mom how he feels, and he was stumbling with his words, like he really didn't know how to, translate it to her. And his mom was able to meet him halfway in the conversation, hold his hand, and basically help him to get his expressive thoughts out. So just imagine you no longer have that. You're going to feel like you've lost gravity. And yeah, people will sit and listen to you and have great conversations with you. And this is why we hear the story of him just paying these sex workers to just sit and listen to him talk, because he wants people who will listen to him without judgment. He is a complex individual. And I believe this is why we're going to see Bianca Censori and him together for a long time, because I do believe that Bianca shares the same complex nature, and as such, she's able to understand. I believe that Bianca understanding is somewhat synonymous to his mom. I think Bianca reminds him a lot of his mother in terms of her intelligence and how she's able to be patient with him and understand him on a level like none other. So he's going through a tough time. And when he goes on this Joe Rogan podcast, we're going to get a lot more clarity. Now, some of us are not going to get that clarity because we have already mentally put up that brick wall. And this is what keeps some of us into stagnation mentally. I'm not talking about, your personal challenges. I'm talking about, sometimes when we cannot grasp things, it's because we have so many mental blockages that even when we don't know it, when we're to learn something and apply that new skill into our life, we already have that mental block there. So it's hard to learn. And you'll tell people that you have a difficult time learning, while if you should, dig mentally and take down those walls, you'll realize that things translate to you easier. So even if you don't like someone, and this is why I always say that I'm happy that I have this unique ability to see two sides of any conversation. And it's why I'm able to understand complex individuals like Ye. No, and I'm excited about this upcoming podcast. I can't wait. And I want to watch this one from start to finish. I want to see the expressions, because while he's talking, I can read his expressions. And I know when he's saying something without saying it, Joe Rogan is also good at that. So I want to see this podcast from start to finish. I'm going to watch it from start to finish. I'm going to have my book. I'm going to have my pen. I'm going to take little notes, and we're going to come back and talk about it. But that's all I have to share in this video with you guys. Let me know what's your take. While you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up, share, stay safe, and see you guys in the comment section. Peace.